If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out. Whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant, Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
We are now stopping at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, a Victorian-style hotel offering the modern conveniences of a full-service spa and health club.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com.
Don't cough.
I'm trying really hard not to cough.
Oh my gosh.
We both had this crud that won't go away.
It has been horrible. I hope everybody else in Looper Nation's not going through what we're going through.
Everyone stay healthy. Drink some vitamin C.
Goodness gracious.
Let's go to Florida where you can get it right off the tree.
There you go. Maybe that's what we should do.
Or even
let's go
out west, left coast.
Anywhere.
There too.
Anywhere. Just get away from these germs in Northeast Ohio or whatever's going on. At any rate, Tim.
Yes, Bob.
I don't know if you're aware of this.
I'm aware of some things, but probably not this. I don't know.
Disneyland Resort announced some price changes in their ticketing and parking.
Oh, thank goodness they're changing parking.
So, there we go.
Here we go.
That's not what we're going to really talk about today, but we're just going to touch on this because a week ago, they announced, a week or so ago, they announced their price increases up to 25% for the daily tickets, annual passes, and parking. So this is what it looks like.
Right.
This took effect January 6th, as I said about a week or so ago. So daily parking rises from from $20 to $25.
Oh, man.
25% increase. One-day tickets for one park to Disneyland or California Adventure Park went from $104 or went from $97 to $104 on low demand days.
Oh, not that whole thing again.
Regular demand days went from $117 to $129.
Oh, that's getting up there.
Over a 10% increase. For peak demand days, went from $135 to $149.
Good Lord.
Almost a 10.5% increase. This has got to hurt the folks in California. For the Southern California Select Pass, which blocks out weekends, all weekends, most summer months, big part of the fall, and winter holidays. I don't even know why you would want to buy one of those.
It's like a week.
Yeah, you get like 2 days out of the year. Went from $369 to $399.
Okay.
Most annual passes. The Disney representative said more days would be blocked out for most annual passes in 2019 versus last year. So they're increasing the amount of blockout dates as well.
And for the standard annual pass?
For all annual passes,
really?
Most annual passes.
All right.
They went from they went from about last year they had about 202 blockout days, 211 blockout days. That gives you like 100 days out of the whole year.
Wow.
That's like how much sun we get here in Northeast Ohio.
On a good year.
And believe me, you know when it's sunny in Northeast Ohio, you're thrilled. The deluxe pass went from $729 to $799. The most expensive premier pass, which no blockout dates and access to both parks, $1,579 was last year's prices.
That's the old price?
The old price went up to almost $2,000, $1,949. Even the Max Pass, that reservation system
right.
they have, up from $10 to $15. Now keep in mind, these ticket prices went up last year.
Right.
The ticket prices went up last year as well. Less than a year ago, they raised the ticket prices out in California.
Oh, my gosh.
And now they went up again this year. We're not going to talk about that because, I mean, everybody's like, oh, well, you know.
If you want to go, you're going to have to pay.
And they're still crowded.
Right.
I mean, it's still crowded.
Right.
What we are going to talk about, is a theory that you had.
This is a theory that I had.
That you had done an informal,
And
unofficial,
absolutely unofficial,
random survey.
totally random.
Of who?
Star Wars fans.
Star Wars fans. Go ahead.
And you were there when I talked to one that we both happen to know.
Right.
And they had asked us, like, when do I need to start planning? Like, how do I need to go about starting to think about booking this trip to see Galaxy's Edge?
Right.
And this was for a Disney World.
Going to Disney World.
And all of a sudden my gears started, because I knew this person, a huge Star Wars fan. Very meta fan, knows all the details about everything Star Wars.
Knows everything.
Watches all the shows, all the animated shows.
Right.
I think he's even read the books. And I thought, well, I'm going to ask him this question, because this has been weighing on me.
Right.
Besides going to Galaxy's Edge,
Right.
at the studios,
Right.
what other parks would you like to go see?
46 square miles worth of entertainment at Walt Disney
Tons
World.
of things. Disney Springs.
What else did this person want to see?
Nothing. Wow. Had no plans
Right.
to go see anything. His goal, just go see Galaxy's Edge, and he's out.
So that got you to thinking, I'm going to ask some other folks and find out.
And I'm getting kind of the same thing.
From just about, and now keep in mind, folks, these are your Disney fans that for the most part, or the Star Wars fans they're not Disney fans.
No,
they didn't raise their kids. A lot of them were just adults, single adults,
right?
Married couple adults, no kids. But some had kids, but didn't raise their kids in the whole Disney bubble like we did.
Exactly.
And you found that most people
have no desire to go to anywhere but Galaxy's Edge. Like, they're going to see it maybe one time.
Right.
And who knows if they'll go back or not, but right now, that's all they want to do. And one person said, well, as long as I'm there, I might go see Harry Potter Land.
Which is not on Disney.
It's not Disney at all.
Which got us to thinking and
Yes,
got
it
us
did.
to talking. And we thought, why are we doing this without microphones?
The show's already done.
This is a show. We could do a show. So all of the hype, all of the expense that Disney's putting into raising the rates of the resorts, raising the rates. Now, right now, let's as we record this in January of 2019, Walt Disney World hasn't done anything yet. There's still some really good deals
There are some good deals.
to go to Walt Disney World. Not necessarily in the fall.
We don't know about going into the fall and the winter yet. We just know
Right.
about through the summer. Through the summer is very soft at Disney, we're finding out.
And early 2020 is going to be interesting. If Disney decides to do this for Walt Disney World, we discussed this.
We did.
One, we're thinking a lot of the normal Disney fans are going to say, we're going to wait.
Right.
The crowds are going to be massive.
Right.
At Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
Two, it's going to be too expensive anyway.
Right.
The rates of the rooms are going to be through the roof. The rates of the tickets, if Disneyland is any example of that.
There will be no off-season or no non-peak times.
But this was the theory that we had kind of come up with. Maybe, after you did your informal survey,
Yes.
maybe that's not going to be the case at all.
It might not be.
Now, the rate, I'm not saying the rates ain't going to go up.
Right. And it's not going to be, kind of crowded.
But most of the other parks aren't going to be as crowded as people are anticipating.
Right.
Because the Star Wars fans aren't going to be going to anything but Disney Hollywood Studios, whatever they're going to call it
Yeah.
in the future, and Galaxy's Edge. Then they're out.
Right.
Are they going to stay on property?
Why would they?
Why would they? They don't need to worry about, I'm going to do park hopping and I'm going to go on all these other places and I'm going to utilize the dining and all of that stuff.
Like we said, a lot of them don't even have kids, so they don't have to worry about strollers or, packing up a car. They just have to get in their car from whatever hotel they're at, drive to the gate, and wait in their 4-hour-long line.
And you and I both know when we talk to people who it's their first trip to Walt Disney World, the sticker shock of going to Walt Disney World is like, I'm staying off property.
Right.
These folks are I think they're definitely going to stay off property.
Because that Star Wars hotel isn't even open yet. So that's not even on the table.
And they're not even going to be able to afford it. A lot of them probably, some will. Some that we know will want that experience.
The ones without kids.
The ones without kids. So and again, we got to go back to the whole parking. One of the issues is going to be parking. So you're going to have these people looking at the prices, the inflated and we accept inflated prices.
Right. We know where we're at.
We know, and we do it because we want to be in the bubble.
Right.
These are people that don't understand the bubble, don't want to necessarily be in the bubble.
They don't care about the bubble. They care about Galaxy's Edge.
They care about Galaxy's Edge and then going up to the other park to see
Harry Potter,
the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
So the resorts, they're going to see inflated prices at the resorts.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to see parking that they're going to have to pay for.
Right.
They're going to see now it's going to be expensive to get into the park anyway. Where can I save money? Where are they going to save money?
At the hotel.
They're going to
where they're going to lay their bed. Where they're going to lay their heads at night.
Staying off property, somewhere maybe in between Universal and Disney.
Right.
Where the parking's free. They can get a free breakfast in the morning.
They're going to pack a bag full of protein bars.
The dining's going to be cheaper.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Off property, typically dining's, it's still inflated compared to, what you're going to pay at an Olive Garden at home.
No.
As opposed to an Olive Garden in Kissimmee is inflated.
That's not as bad, though, honestly. It's not.
No.
But, yeah.
But, so the question I have for you,
yes,
after your survey, do you think that Disney is actually going to be shocked by the small amount of people that are going to do the things they think they're going to do, which is stay on property,
mm-hmm.
go to all the parks, spend tons and tons of money?
Right.
Do you think they're going to be shocked by the fact that that's not really what's happening?
I think they may be, and here's what I'm going to tell you why. The super hardcore Star Wars fans are not going to wait 6 months to go to Disney World and see Galaxy's Edge.
No.
They're going to go out to Disneyland so they can be some of the ones to see it first. And then why would they go to Disney World to see the same attractions, the same Star Wars attractions that they've already seen in California?
That's a great point.
That's
a great point.
And if the lands, quotes, are supposed to be pretty much identical in theme and spires and the exact same outpost.
Right. Supposedly it's going to be very close to the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, why go both places?
And, really, when you go to Disneyland, typically you're not staying on Disney property anyway.
Right.
Because they have a limited amount of rooms.
It's very limited there, yes.
I know for me, I'm a huge Disney fan. I love staying in the bubble.
Yeah.
I was able to stay directly across the street at a very reasonable rate.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable anywhere in the country, let alone near Disney, and just walk right into the parks. California Adventure and Disneyland cost me very little. I was able to have a nice free breakfast in my room.
Right.
You got a great point. They may go to California because they want to see it.
They want to see it first.
And it might not be the mass event at Walt Disney World because everybody will have done it.
You figure they're going to do the huge network special when it opens in Disneyland, I'm sure.
Right.
Are they going to do the same event 6 months later when the same thing opens in Orlando?
Interesting, yeah. I don't know. And, Disneyland, Anaheim, California, you're looking at summer, which it's going to be beautiful. California's beautiful
right.
in the summertime.
Yeah,
there's so many other things to do when you're there as well. You got the studio, all of these different studio tours that you can take. You got Universal that's out there. Hollywood itself.
Right.
That people are going to be like, the true Star Wars fans going to be like, hey, I can go to Disneyland in California and hit the Galaxy's Edge, then maybe take a drive up to Skywalker Ranch.
There you go.
And see something like that.
Stop up and see Mr. Lucas himself.
So, I guess what we're getting at right, exactly. Well, I guess what we're getting at is there is a potential for all of us that have been just waiting, and everybody's putting off their vacation, or a lot of people are putting off their vacations
right.
to Walt Disney World, this year because it's like, oh man, it's just going to be too crowded.
I'm curious if Disneyland's numbers are hugely, up for this summer in anticipation. Well,
Could
Disney
be.
World everyone's heard about Disney World being down.
Right.
How about, is Disneyland way up?
We could see some shocking numbers for Walt Disney World toward the end of the year, and even more so, some shocking discounts.
And isn't it hard to tell in Disneyland because there's so few hotels, actual Disney hotels?
Right.
Aren't they pretty much always kind of booked there anyway?
Oh, right.
So, I mean,
Right.
it's kind of, might be harder to judge the numbers.
The
there.
actual Disneyland hotels,
Right,
definitely.
right,
I
right.
mean, we've talked, the RDVC roundtables talked many times about how difficult it is to get into the Grand Californian.
Right.
And the other two hotels that Disneyland has out there, it's tough. It's tough to. And I got to tell you, you want to talk about inflated prices? My goodness, those room rates at Disneyland, very high.
Well,
Very high.
Yeah. They are at a premium compared.
Right. So, and again, you guys that have been to Disneyland, you guys that know Disneyland, it is just unfortunate for Disney, which is why Walt moved everything built in Florida, because he knew he was losing out on a lot of revenue with all the hotels that completely surrounded Disneyland. It's too convenient to stay off property at Disneyland. I think the Walt Disney World thing with the cars, Uber, and all of the crazy stuff that's available for people,
Right.
it's going to be too convenient for these folks that are only going for one land or one attraction to go, hit it, get it done, and get out.
And that'll be, what a shame is that? Especially in Disneyland, you're going to be walking by some of the, premier attractions in this world. The original, small world.
Well, and
Pirates. Haunted Mansion.
And you got a great point there too, because a lot of these Star Wars fans are also Marvel fans, and that's the only place you can do Marvel.
That's right.
And down in Florida, you're going to be able to hit the Marvel land over at Universal, unfortunately. You got Guardians of the Galaxy at Disneyland, so that's even more of an incentive for people to go to Disneyland instead of waiting, like you said, 6 months. The hardcore ones aren't going to wait 6 months.
Right.
So, I don't know. I know you and I have talked to awful lot of people that want to put off their vacation. They don't want to bother with going. A lot of people that love going during the holidays, hitting, Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and all of that, holding off this year, not going to Disney World,
Right.
because they're afraid of the crowds and how insane it's going to be. So I think Disney World needs to be a little cautious.
A little bit more. And we got to see, part of the 6 months, I think 6 months is awfully a long time.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they need to get their attractions once they open in Disneyland. They're going to have teams there to make sure everything goes smoothly and hope the Disney World opens up a little bit smoother. And, Disney World's going to have a rush when this stuff opens up.
Go ahead. Because I got something to tell you.
I want to hear this.
Right.
But I'm not sure the rush is going to be as long of a duration as it has been.
Well, I agree.
Compared to previous.
They're certainly going to learn things from Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yep.
For Walt Disney World. But here's the thing. This is what, and again, we've talked about this. We've had Len Testa on talking about the crowd sizes for the Star Wars
Right.
Galaxy's Edge. This is what a Disneyland representative said to the Los Angeles Times.
Little paper we've heard of.
And they don't name the person, the park representative. They just said, park representatives declined to discuss how they plan to handle the expected surge of visitors. So
It's going to look like a migrant caravan going into Disneyland. That many people.
which could lead to even less people wanting to go and hit that at Walt Disney World 6 months later.
Right.
Because they might say, I am not going to deal with the insanity that we saw at Disneyland. Now, I'm sure Disney's they'll handle this like they always do with all the, but you can't have 5-hour wait times for rides.
No. No.
It too much. It's going to be too much. So it's going to be interesting to watch this all play out. I just think that maybe holding off your vacation this winter at Walt Disney World might not be what you want to do.
How long do you think we are from an additional cost to get into Galaxy's Edge? You're going to have a little extra money on your Magic Band, so when they beep it, they go, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't come in."
I think we are going to see an incredible amount of special ticketing for Galaxy's Edge.
I think you'll see special ticketing, and this is probably maybe where you're going, not to jump on you. Special events in there.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're, I hate to say this, but I got a feeling you're going to see a lot of this. Our typical Star Wars weekends that we can just go to the Hollywood studios, do some meet and greets with some of the Star Wars folks, may turn into a special event where it's a special ticketed event. That's the only way you're going to be able to go and shake hands and get autographs with these people.
That's a great point, because that's initially what happened when they've had the very first couple character dining things at Disney World. That was the only way to actually be guaranteed.
Right.
I mean, it was before all these special character meet and greets in the different parks. If you wanted to make sure you got your picture, your autographs, you had to book a meal somewhere where the characters were.
There you go.
That's a great point.
So we'll see. Anxious. This is going to be very interesting to watch unfold. We, of course, will be. It's going to be almost a year from now when it opens at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, maybe just under. We'll see.
We'll be sitting here freezing. So, talking about boy, were we wrong?
Yeah,
hey,
boy, man. It'll be only been open a week. We're talking a little bit past that.
Yeah, it's going to be very very interesting to watch, and I just hope that Disney is prepared for it not being as big for everybody. It's going to be huge for the Star Wars fan. Let's not get that, I mean, it is. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I can't wait to see this thing. But I'm also a Disney fan, and the Disney fans that aren't Star Wars fans, they're holding back, I think. And
right.
I think that the parks are not going to be as crowded as all the parks are not going to be as crowded, I don't think, as people are anticipating.
The non-Hollywood Studios parks.
Exactly. So, anyway, that's our 2 cents. And
for what it's worth, which is probably about 2 cents.
I don't even think it's worth that much. That, Tim, is all I've got.
Everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm getting ready to cough. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com.
Check us out on YouTube and our new, Spotify? We're on Spotify?
We're on there somewhere.
Somewhere.
I've seen us. We're there.
What else should folks do?
Please go out there and share the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
I was trying.
And there goes.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.